Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
On my way to better things. The great Burton Cummings. He penned it. He also sang it. And I think it's fitting around here. No time left for you. On my way to better things. Love them and leave them. Hell, the way things have gone, don't even love them. Just leave them. And move on down the road. Maybe that will be the pinpoint of the 2024 Jaguar season, a season in which they lost 8 ball games by 7 points or less. They were this close, I tell you. Play here, play there. Mistake here, mistake there. Bad call here, bad call there. And that's what it's all about. It's supposed to be that way in the NFL. This should not be shocking. Look at the point spread every week. It's about 3 points or less, just about every game. Crying out loud, look at the college football playoff rankings. Look at the games coming up this weekend. All right? They're spread out more. Some championship Saturday games were spread out more. Getting the 2 best teams from each of the Power 4 conferences, yet the point spread there was a wider margin than what you typically get for a normal slate in any given week in pro football. But that has been really the go-to, and it worries me, should worry you. If the ear right now is getting some sweet whispers, Shad Khan's ear, the lips and the tongue of Trent Baalke, and he's saying, Shad, Urban was your guy. Shad, Doug Peterson was your guy. Give me control. Let me handle this. 8 losses, 7 points or less. I've built this thing. Have you seen Brian Thomas Jr.? I've built this thing. Have you seen Anton Harrison? I've built this thing. Have you seen Tank? Have you seen Jarian Jones? Have you seen Brenton Strange now given an opportunity? Have you seen what I've built? Okay? Give me full autonomy. Let me hire the next coach. Let me put together the next staff. It's a pretty simple system. You get blown out in the NFL, and Jacksonville has twice this year. It's because your opponent is a far better football team. You lose close games week to 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 week. You lose them, it's coaching. And it's coaching for the Jaguars. It was coaching on Sunday. Boneheaded, missed responsibility, completely blown coverage by the Jacksonville Jaguars with 90 seconds remaining in the game. Devontae Adams, there wasn't a body within 25 yards of Devontae Adams, who took it 41 yards to the 1-yard line on a 3rd and 5. A colossal breakdown by this football team. And we've talked about it all year long. The 2 things that have reared its ugly head on a weekly basis has been terrible coaching, mistake-filled coaching, and the inability to play complementary football. When your offense does the job, defense, your turn. When the defense does its job, as they did in the first half yesterday, or make that Sunday, they only allowed 104 yards in the first half. They only allowed 7 points in the first half, yet they were gutted for 25 points in the final 30 minutes of play. This team has not been able to do that so far this year. So the good news is it's fixable. This team is not that far away. If Trevor Lawrence screws his head on correctly and comes here in 2025 with the willingness to take the next step, to really show that $55 million a year is cool, but I want to win. I want to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. That's what it's all about for me. And there's a lot of quarterbacks right now in the NFL saying that. Look at the top QBs. I'm really shocked that Josh Allen's like minus 900 to win the MVP. His numbers are comparable to Lamar Jackson, who's plus 600. You're trying to tell me there's a 14? I mean, whatever. We'll get into that possibly a little bit later on in the program. But those are two quarterbacks right there that are looking to win a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow looking to win a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts looking to win a Super Bowl. Jared Goff looking to win a Super Bowl. There's a lot of promising quarterbacks out there who've yet to reach that level. Trevor Lawrence is not in that category yet. Every day that goes by and we don't hear anything, all of this nonsense just lingers. We don't know if there's big problems between Lawrence and Peterson. We assume it. We don't know it. It's going to leak. It's going to, especially if Bulky stays, it's going to leak. There's going to be a platform of material that is going to come our way. All right? And trust me, we're going to get answers. It's going to be fascinating in 3 Mondays. And, hey, I hope I'm here for it. I certainly hope you are here for it. All right, we got a lot to do right here on a Tuesday night. We call this Into the Night. Rick Ballou alongside JJ LaSelva. We're going to mix up some sports here early on for about 8 to 10 minutes. Burton Cummings is going to join us, one of the original members of the Guess Who. And he did coin No Time Left for You. Also, American Woman. I mean, the lyrics that went in. I mean, the writing, the songwriting, Canadian Brood. We're going to talk with him. He's coming to the Florida Theater on February 5th. And a classic rock and roll band at an unbelievable dwelling. Okay? I absolutely love any opportunity that I have to get to the Florida Theater. You should as well. And that's coming up on Wednesday, February 5th. So get your tickets. We're going to bring Burton in. I've never spoken with him before. I got to believe that he's a big hockey guy. I would assume that. But I've spoken with some rock artists before who are not. I remember my last conversation with Don Banks from 38 Special. And for the life of him, I bet he couldn't name one member of the Jacksonville Jaguars, even though Banks is born and raised right here in Jayville. So we'll have a little bit of fun. I love rock and roll. I know most of you out there listening love rock and roll as well. That's coming up later here in the program. And then I got a lot I want to do on the Jaguars. But that's going to be the best part of this offseason. This isn't the Mike Mularkey-led Jaguars. That was maybe the worst assortment of professional talent I have ever seen. And Mularkey only got 1 year. I thought it was somewhat unfair, but they just wanted to bulldozer the thing and start over. You know, went out, Shad Khan comes in, brings in Dave Caldwell. It becomes Gus Bradley. Nonetheless, this is not like the end of the Marone era. This is not like the end of the Urban Meyer era. This is going to be different 3 years in with Doug Peterson. There's a lot of building blocks on this football team. But what I look and what I see, and I have to understand what people are doing. And I hate that I'm even bringing up the NFL draft because what is it, like 128 days away? But when this football team begins the year by dropping a 0-4 on you, okay, they're just like, watch this, Jag fan. And this is on the players and the coaches. When they just say, watch this, before you even settle in for your season, I'm just going to ruin it for you. We're going to go 0-4 in the month of September to dash your dreams. You're on the phone. You're canceling your away trips. Maybe you're going to London. Maybe you're going to one of the divisional opponents. I don't know what it is. But, you know, they drop a 0-4 on you. And when they do that, then all of a sudden they're 2-10. And now they're what? 3-11. You're forced to kind of change up the way things are. I'd love to be sitting here speaking about what a great opportunity it's going to be to go to Las Vegas on Sunday and knock off the Raiders. But I'd be a fool to present it that way. Most of you want them to lose. You want a better draft pick. You want a better situation as far as the front office and the coaching staff. I mean, I hate it for you. We're going through it again. You've been out of this thing since the last week of October. Here it is, what, December 17th, for crying out loud. 1 week away from Christmas Eve. How many of you are buying each other Jaguar gifts this year? Boy, and you know what? They've ruined so many businesses in town by sucking. It's almost kind of classic that, yeah, I mean, I feel the same. I got an email today. It's like, hey, the 10 best gifts for your Florida State. I'm like, bro, you couldn't pay me enough money to buy something that has Florida State on it right now. They are awful. Not only are they awful, they're an embarrassment. Kind of feel the same way about the Jaguars, right? Are you filling the tree? You know, hey, let's get them the latest hoodie. Hey, let's get them the latest game jersey. Hey, let's get them the latest Jaguar. I mean, no, you don't want to consistently buy from a losing product. And that's what the Jaguars have given you this year. But with 128 days away from the NFL draft, the cupboard's not bare. You've got talent. Walker Little, fourth consecutive above-average start. Anton Harrison, all right, a couple of penalties, but he's improved. You've got a budding superstar in Brian Thomas Jr., a wide receiver one who in a year could be a top 5 wide receiver in this league. I don't think he's going to get the credit that he deserves. And the reason is that he's not a diva. Okay? All of these wide receivers is something internally, something within their brain where it's like, well, I'm a wide receiver and I'm really good. I kind of got to make an ass out of myself, right? That's the way I'm going to make much more money. I mean, I don't know what it is with these wide receivers, but they all are that way, that I've got to act like a child. I've got to make it all about me. I'm not a team guy. I'm an individual. We saw A.J. Brown last week, flipping off and upset with Jalen Hurts. And it's always the wide receivers. Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. You don't get that at all with Brian Thomas Jr. Here's a guy who's shy. Here's a guy who's almost, unassuming. And I think it's going to hurt him a little bit as far as the pub. Also, the fact that Jacksonville is a really bad franchise is going to hurt him. I mean, the fact that they're 3-11 and they can't get out of their own way is problematic, but that could turn in a year. And that's my point of this whole conversation. This should be an incredibly attractive job, especially if you believe you can fix your quarterback. I think where we're at now, and everyone is wondering whether it's privately or publicly, and it's the biggest question that needs to be answered. The question's been asked. It now needs to be answered. Can Trevor Lawrence really play in this league? Is Trevor Lawrence going to grab this team and take it to the next level? Or are we going to be sitting here in 1 year talking about another lost season with a guy who was supposed to change the entire franchise? It's not all his fault. It's not even close to being all his fault. But when you get paid that amount of money, when you come in with the pedigree that he did, he is going to be responsible for that. Is he tough enough mentally and emotionally to handle that? And I don't even think the pressure is that great. It'd be a hell of a lot worse if he went to the New York Jets and he was asked to fix that organization. They've gone 14 years without making it to the playoffs. Can you imagine being in New York City where you have all sorts of contrarians that literally enjoy it when the team that they cover loses? Can you imagine being that vicious? Can you imagine being that evil? It's almost political in the way that political reporters are going against what they believe. That's the way it is with some of the East Coast. You don't have any of that around here. You have some people who will tell the truth. You also have a lot of people that will carry the water. Even though it's a 3-11 team, they'll try to find a way to tell you that everything's great. Okay? No, I can't do that. But certainly I want to see the team get better. There's a lot to look at here. This should be the most attractive job of anyone that is available this year outside of Cincinnati if it opens. Joe Burrow's better than Trevor Lawrence. End of conversation. If you're going to argue me on it, then let me tell you something. You're going to make a fool out of yourself, okay? Joe Burrow's better. End of story. But out of every other job that's available, give me a Trevor Lawrence. But yes, I do have my reservations. Can you fix this guy? Can you? That's got to be the number one part of all of this, no matter who they hire. And right now, the guy appears to be Ben Johnson. You better hope you can get Ben Johnson. I look at a team like the New York Jets. They've already interviewed a couple of general managers. They're on the cusp of interviewing a couple of more general managers. They're trying to get out ahead of it. Again, you don't want to use them as the blueprint. That is a losing franchise. They haven't made it to the playoffs in 14 years. But it at least feels like they're trying to do something to change that. Where here, everything's going to be waited out. Right? I mean, I would have fired Ryan Nielsen after what he showed in the fourth quarter on Sunday. Why keep him? What benefit does this football team have by keeping him? That was an egregious mistake. That was an unforgivable mistake. Yet around here, it's like, well, yeah, we got to clean that up. We got to get better. We got to coach him better. It's infuriating. It really is. And I feel for you on it. But I will tell you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I just hate that we have to do it all over again. Again and again and again and again and again. You would think there'd be a little bit of accountability, a little bit of professionalism, a little bit of pride for the gig, for the job. And there just isn't right now. This is a football team that plays through the motions. Opening comments tonight and every night brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. And I've known Dr. Neil Shmunez now for a very long period of time. My goodness, double digits as far as the years are concerned. They would like to introduce a brand new doctor to their practice. That is Dr. John Hunt. Okay, they have welcomed him into the Shmunez family. And he is a general ophthalmologist who performs routine eye exams, also cataract surgery. Okay, joining Dr. Neil Shmunez, joining Dr. Catherine Shmunez. Combined, that's way more than 30 years of laser eye surgery experience. Also, cataract surgery eye experience. One is a need. The other is absolutely a want. Okay? Both available for you. And it's just a little part of their repertoire. There's so much more involved in everything that is your eye. So here's the deal. Make an appointment today at Shmunez Vision. Okay? You can also check them out on Instagram at Shmunez Vision. Make an appointment. Find out what's going on with your eyes. If you do need surgery, and I know that's a very difficult thing to be a part of, they will sit down and explain everything to you, and then they will be the individuals who perform the surgery. That is not always the place, depending on where you go, to get your eyes taken care of. That is always what it's going to be like at Shmunez Vision. That's why they're number one. All right, when we come back, let's mix things up a little bit. And when the Jags are this bad, this is what I've always said. Sports really lets you down. The only thing that can let you down worse than sports is like a wife who's now an ex-wife, right? Music never lets you down. Music is always there, and it should be there to pick you up. It should be there to send you in the right mood. Now, if you want to drop Barry Manilow and Neil Diamond and Seals and Crofts and you want to play music that maybe is going to take you to a bridge to jump, that's one thing. But if you really want to listen to, and I'm a big Neil Diamond fan, by the way, I should say. But if you want to listen to great music, it is the great escape. It gets you away from your personal problems. It also gets you away from your complete, total aggravation of football teams that you love so much. The Guess Who, a Canadian rock band, sensational in the late 60s through the mid-70s. They should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We're going to talk with their lead singer and one of the founding fathers of the Guess Who, Burton Cummings, goes into the night next.
He is our quarterback savant, and he'll take you inside his mind.
So you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the Quarterback Whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet.
Ballou here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are aiming to sell 1,000 vehicles this December. How? I've told my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. With thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground, all priced to sell, we guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. This is the absolute last weekend. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
The best teal-colored coverage includes Mia's Quick Hits.
Get the latest news from inside the building and around the league. I'm Mia O'Brien, 1010XL's NFL Insider.
Driven by Arlington Toyota. Available on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at Salvatore's.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners. So you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Being an athlete means having a healthy desire to do as much as you can with your body. For as long as you can. Gatorade has lower sugar, electrolyte-backed hydration options to keep you rehydrated and replenished. Gatorade, for every athlete.
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Jeff Lagerman here. Now that football season is here, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any of the 27 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions, and more. Napa Auto Care offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find a Napa Auto Care Center near you. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
If you know about artificial turf, you know it needs to be done right. Lauren Brooks here from my friends at Sunshine Turf, a family-owned company that will transform your outdoor space into the oasis of your dreams. A putting green, a pet run, a maintenance-free yard. Trust me, the team at Sunshine Turf are the experts you need to transform your lawn. With the highest quality products and budget-friendly pricing, get clean, low-maintenance synthetic grass by visiting sunshineturf.info or call 904-383-0243 to get a free quote today from Sunshine Turf.
This season, check out our revamped website at southernsteerbutcher.com. Click on the Promotions tab, and our Jacksonville weekly grilling specials will hit you in the face like a hot route over the middle.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
The Guess Who. Absolutely a staple, historically speaking, in the world of classic rock. And we are joined right now by one of the original members and, of course, singer-songwriter. He is the great Burton Cummings, who goes into the night with Rick Ballou, as he'll be coming here in just a couple of months. Burton, it's a pleasure, sir. How are you?
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I'll tell you this: you're probably a lot warmer than I am today. I've moved back to Canada. I live in Saskatchewan, in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, in the prairies, and it's pretty brisk. Yeah. I must say, it's brisk. But you know, I grew up in Winnipeg. I know what cold is, and I tell you this honestly, I kind of miss the seasons, the changing of the seasons. When you grow up in that, it's strange to be. My first year in Los Angeles, I saw Christmas lights on palm trees. It was kind of strange. So.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I like being in the prairies, and I'm back where I grew up. So
I would imagine that's great songwriting weather and great songwriting environment to be out in that type of scenario.
I think, a lot of people have asked me through the years, how did Randy Bachman and I get together and then later Kurt Winter and I wrote a lot of songs together. And, it may be, without even thinking about it blatantly, it may have had something to do. We used to spend more time indoors because it was 40 below.
Okay.
And when you're inside a lot more than some other climates, you tend to get busy on indoor things. And Randy and I always found time to write songs. Same with Kurt. Kurt Winter and I, we would just get a big box of beer and a couple of packs of filter cigarettes. And by 2 or 3 in the morning, there were usually 3 or 4 new songs. Yeah. So we tried to make it more like fun than working. Songwriters, sometimes they say, "Oh, is it 12 noon? Is it time to be brilliant yet?" It's kind of weird. Like, we always just went with it as we felt it.
Right. And I grew up in Boston. Let me tell you, that Canadian brewed Molson or Labatt's, that'll knock you on your seat now.
Absolutely. That's 4 or 5 or 6%. Yeah, the beer is pretty strong.
Yeah.
We played in Boston a lot. Mm-hmm. We were quite popular there, so I remember going to Boston a lot of times.
Burton Cummings, our guest, original member of the Guess Who, will be at the Florida Theater on Wednesday night, February 5th. I'm taking off. I can't wait to get to the show and see him. You mentioned, we saw the explosion from across the pond, and Neil Young, a Canadian writer, a little bit before you. But was there pushback when you made your way to the United States?
Well, it was always, legally it was tough because you need visas. We weren't allowed just to drive across the border and start doing concerts. And we really, there had always been Leonard Cohen, there had always been Gordon Lightfoot, but we were the first band, really, I think, that the band out of Canada. Neil Young was definitely out of Canada. We grew up together in Winnipeg. He was in a band called the Squires when we were all teenagers. Next thing we know, this hot band from L.A. is breaking wide open called Buffalo Springfield, and they were a terrific band. What talent in that group! Stephen Stills and Neil Young and Richie Furay. I mean, that was tremendous. So, but I think, you see, now he was just one Canadian in an American band. Yeah. I think we were the first Canadian band really to cross the border.
The Guess Who, talking with Burton Cummings. I've been lucky enough to talk with a ton of artists over the years, and what I always ask them, because to me this is the most amazing part of it, and that is songwriting. Do you get into a certain mood, Burton? Does it maybe strike you with a... Susan Tedeschi from the Tedeschi Trucks Band told me that she keeps a piece of paper by her bedside because there are times she'll wake up in a dream and immediately write stuff down. How does the whole songwriting come into play for you?
It's funny. Every song, I think, starts differently. With me, it's just an idea. If I get an idea for a title that I really like, then I'll sit down and try and follow that. Sometimes I get an idea for the first few lines of a verse, and then I'll sit down and work on that at the keyboards. But there was one specific example for songwriting for me, different than all the rest. I had an album called Plus Signs, a solo album called Plus Signs, about 1990. And I forced myself to get up every morning and go to the piano and start writing stuff. And I finished writing that whole album in about 10 or 11 days, just from nothing, from a dead start of nothing existing to a whole album's worth of songs within about 10 or 11 days. I just forced myself to do it. But most times I do what you just described. I wait to be inspired, and then I'll run to a piano or, I kept handwritten books, notebooks for years when we toured the whole world. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have home computers yet. So and a lot of my songs came out of those.
Burton, what's it like to have these songs that are still a test of time? I mean, we hear them all the time again today at work, from the very late 60s through the mid 70s, whether it's American Woman or No Time, or whatever it may be, to still hear these songs played on the radio.
It's wonderful. It's still like when I was a kid in school. In high school, I was in a band called the Devrons in Winnipeg, and we actually got a record released while I was still in high school. And that was a pretty lofty thing for a high school kid to be going to school that day and being on the radio. Well, that thrill has never really left me totally. I still love hearing myself on the radio, because when I was a little kid, it was a dream.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Elvis Presley and Fats Domino and Little Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis and these piano players that pounded the hell out of the keyboards. I loved those guys, and I used to dream about that. And then along came a lot of teenage successes like Bobby V, and Johnny Tillotson and Bobby Darin, and these guys were young, man, and they were having hit records. And I dreamed that maybe I could be one of those people one day. And I'll tell you one thing: we were very lucky in Winnipeg. There were 3 major AM radio stations, all competing for the audience. So each one of them was on their very top game, and we heard stuff that nobody else in Canada was hearing. There was a special show on Sunday morning I used to get up and listen to called Hits from Around the World. Hello, I'm Dino Corey this morning, and here are your hits from around the world. and we would hear stuff that was going on in England and Australia. And I'll tell you, man, nobody in Canada and probably very few in the States were hearing that music that we were hearing.
Wow. Incredible. Final moment with Burton Cummings. He is, of course, original member of the Guess Who, and he'll be rocking here in Jacksonville at the Florida Theater coming up on a Wednesday night, February 5th. Get your tickets. I will be at the show, and I'm looking forward to it. Legend has it that American Woman is about the Statue of Liberty. Is that true?
No, absolutely not. And I think Jim Cale said that one time in an interview. It's absolute nonsense. We were on stage after the success of These Eyes and Laughing and Undone. We were touring a lot in the States. And then we came back to Canada to do a show after about 25 American shows. And Randy started this riff on stage. And it was such a great riff. I just started singing whatever came into my head. It was never meant to be political. I looked out at the crowd, and I saw the girls. We were back in Canada. The girls weren't trying as hard to grow up so fast. And I noticed that the American girls, maybe they wore a little more makeup at a younger age. Maybe they wore sexier clothes at a younger age. We got back to Canada, and it seemed like everything had toned down a notch or two. So I looked out at the crowd, and Randy's playing this great riff. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I looked at the crowd, and I looked at the girls, and I thought in my head, Canadian woman, I prefer you. And you know what came out of my mouth?
Yeah.
American woman, stay away from me. And it was never meant to be political. And here's the thing. At that stage, in 1969, 1970, the Vietnam War was at a very bad point of escalation. And that fed into the success of the song as well. But I was never an anti-American. Goodness gracious. My mother used to take my grandmother and me across the border into Grand Forks, North Dakota, and sometimes as far as Fargo. And then later in my life, when I was a kid, my mom and my aunt would take me to Minneapolis, and that was the big city to me, kind of little kid from Winnipeg. So I've always been in the shadow of the United States, and I've always loved the States, and especially the music that came out of the States. I mean, that's the whole reason I have gold records.
Man,
was growing up on the American rock and roll music.
What a great story. And it's one of my all-time favorite songs. The 7 years I did radio in Chicago, 2000 through 2006, that was always my closing song every night. The Guess Who's American Woman. Oh, I loved it. And we'd have so much fun with it, yeah.
I'll tell you another thing. There's irony in the fact that Lenny Kravitz re-recorded it and had such a monstrous success. Lenny Kravitz writes all his own songs. Give you one guess what the biggest song of his career is.
I'm going to go with American Woman.
Very good guess. And, that's really saying something about my lyrics. Because put it this way, you can have a love song and it can surface 50 years later, and the lyrics are still topical because love is timeless. But that song, I don't need your war machines, I don't need your ghetto scenes, that's not exactly a love song.
No way.
Just trying to make things rhyme. War machines, ghetto scenes, colored lights can hypnotize, sparkle someone else's eyes. I was just trying to make things rhyme, and it's like a Cinderella story. That record was so big. I couldn't believe how big the record was.
Yeah. Burton, what a pleasure. Now, we're a sports station that loves classic rock. You from Winnipeg, you got to be a hockey guy, right?
Absolutely. I don't follow hockey too much anymore because, to be honest, I think there's just too many teams.
Okay.
But
the original six. Yeah.
I'm an original six guy, and I remember the days of the Montreal Canadiens dynasty when I think they won like 7 Stanley Cups in 10 or 11 years. There was never a hockey team like that with Jacques Plante in goal and Bernie Geoffrion and Rocket Richard. one of the greatest players ever. And, you know, it's funny how things change. Rocket Richard was, you know, he's up there with Gretzky and Gordie Howe and Ovechkin and all the great players. Rocket Richard, at the peak of his career, made $10,000 a season.
I know.
So, you know, it's strange. And another thing that's strange is how quickly guys get traded today in professional sports. Think of this. Mickey Mantle was only ever a New York Yankee. Ever. So there you go.
Guy Lafleur, only a Montreal. Actually, he went to the Quebec Nordiques late in his career. I forgot about that.
I think he did toward the end. Yeah. And another good example, man, Magic Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
He was only ever a Laker. So there you go.
Hey, Burton, really looking forward to the show. As we let you go, is it still a thrill to get out there and perform when you get the opportunity? And tell us what the show's going to be like here in Jacksonville on February 5th.
Well, I'll tell you, you're going to hear the songs that you're coming to hear. We don't shy away. We don't shy away from the hit records. We do American Woman and These Share the Land has become a bit of an anthem with people that remember the 60s. And we still love doing Clap for the Wolf Man because everybody knows that record.
Oh, yeah.
Know? And, I had a big record called Stand Tall after I left the Guess Who, and people still know. You know what was the greatest about the reemergence into the States? Now that the cover band, the fake Guess Who, is out of the way, people have been telling me how nice it is that I'm back in the States singing the songs that I originally recorded and wrote.
Yeah.
And this is like honest to God, this is almost like the first time. This is almost like something new for me. It's terrific. And I think you're going to like the show because I'll tell you this, I've got one hell of a band.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I know our listeners out here are looking forward to it. I'm going to pump this up, and hopefully I'm going to get an opportunity to meet you, Burton.
Please come back. Please come backstage, and we'll get a picture together.
Well, I figured you'd have like 100 girls back there, but if I'm allowed to slide on in, I'd love to come.
Please do. Yes, absolutely.
All right, Burton. Hey, we'll see you out there on February 5th. Thank you so much.
Thanks a million. Thanks for your time, and take care. Stay safe.
There he goes. Burton Cummings, ladies and gentlemen, lead singer of the Guess Who. And, you know, they started in 65. Really didn't get big until 68, 69. And then cleared it through 75 up until the time Randy Bachman left the band. And, of course, he formed Bachman-Turner Overdrive. But their songs, classic-wise, will live forever. We're going to play nonstop Guess Who right here on this Tuesday night. I hope you go see the show. This guy's a legend. He's been doing it for almost 60 years. And he sounds good. He sounds like he's energetic and he's ready to go. So hope you enjoyed that. I know we took a few minutes away from talking about the Jaguars, but whenever I get an opportunity to talk with an artist like Burton Cummings, I am absolutely going to do it. We got much more to do with you tonight up until 8 o'clock.
Frank Frangie here. It's the holiday season, and Nimnik Buick GMC is here for you. Whether you're making memories on the road or continuing family traditions right here in Jacksonville, you can always count on us because there's nobody but Nimnik. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% zero APR financing. That's right, 0%. Shop online 24/7 at NimnikBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC, we got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
The 12 Days of Christmas is back and better than ever at Best Bet Jacksonville. From December 12th to the 23rd, we're lighting up the tables with our much-anticipated High Hands promotion, giving away over $330,000 in cash and prizes. The excitement continues to grow each day, starting at $1,200 and climbing up to $2,300, and the chance to set sail on a card player poker cruise. Explore all the excitement at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
When mice and rats show up in your space, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents, and they'll keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so do we. Don't live with a rodent problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a peacemaker. Friends, so often we can only want to help people who are in our inner circle. But God never had inner circles. The world was his inner circle, and he's depending on us to make a difference and to leave our mark in this life. So go out today receiving his peace and then sharing it with the world.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
My name's Jim. I'm 53 years old. There should be options in life, like ways to lose weight. Medications now feel like the only option. I mean, it sounds like a guarantee. I do have friends who have lost weight with them. I tried holding off. I did other diets, but I was miserable. I'd rather be fat and happy. The problem was I wasn't happy fat. I was about to start the meds, but then I heard of Awaken 180's GLP-1 program. Turned out it does the same thing as the meds without injecting myself for life. It absolutely worked. I dropped 45 pounds. I'm now in maintenance, and I feel better than my friends who are still on the meds. Listen, I barely know what GLP-1 is. What I do know is Awaken 180 worked for me, and I was far from miserable doing it.
Thanks, Jim. You all know our success with Awaken 180, and now with Awaken 180's GLP-1 balance, you address the root causes of weight issues. Do it naturally, then keep it off. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Need extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is always buying guns, musical instruments, surfboards, and tools, and pays cash money. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window
World, simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
With Evan Ingram being sidelined for the remainder of the season, Brenton Strange will yet again step up to fill the tight end one role. Strange turned heads against the Jets' defense, catching 11 passes for 73 yards. Strange spoke to the media in the locker room post-game to discuss the want to win and his production from Sunday's game.
Felt pretty good, but it wasn't enough to win. So at the end of the day, all we care about is winning around here, and so it really doesn't matter. It's cool to go out there and execute a little bit better than we have in the past weeks, but we didn't do enough to win the game, and that's all. I mean, I think the opportunities just came my way. Here we say don't chase plays, and plays came my way, so I made the plays. I pride myself on being a reliable player for this team, and that's what I do.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
From Burton. Thank you to Burton Cummings. That'll be a fun show.
American woman, stay away from me.
February 5th at the Florida Theater.
Mama, let me be.
Show starts at 7:30, so I'm going to have to take that night off. That means I got to find 18 holes somewhere. Probably play over at Cimarron. That means I need to find 18 beers somewhere. I know they serve Miller Lite at the Florida Theater. How about Burton Cummings coming out saying that all they had to find was a big box of beer, and then they would sit around and write songs and play songs?
That's how you know he's old school, describing it as a box of beer. That's just like, I would never say that because beer never came in a box when I bought it.
No.
But that's very old school.
You ever had Canadian beer?
I haven't. My buddy who lives in Buffalo, though, is a big Labatt's guy.
Right? Labatt's Blue is my all-time favorite Canadian beer, and it's probably third or fourth. You know, I'm a Miller Lite guy, and I love Guinness. I found myself recently liking some Mexican beer, Dos Equis, Modelo.
Love nice amber Dos Equis.
Yep. But
lime.
I grew up, you know, the older brothers would get the Canadian brewed beer, and it was much more potent than American beer, whether it was Budweiser or whatever. But we would drink the Molson Golden and the Labatt's and the Labatt's 50 and the Moosehead, and it's thick. It's a lager.
Keeps you warm.
Oh. You know what? I may have to go with a little bit. It's been a long, long time since I've had a Labatt's Blue. But it's just a good tasting beer. And, you know, the older you get, I think it's harder to drill beer after beer after beer after beer that's heavy. That's why you got to drink lighter beer. And that's why so many of my friends, they go the vodka route or whatever, where I've never been a huge fan of mixing alcohol. If I'm going to drink whiskey or something like that, I like to drink it neat by itself. Outside of Bloody Marys. I love having Bloody Marys. But I was talking, who was I talking to that? Oh, it was the Christmas party on Saturday night with my good buddy Dave out in St. Augustine. He's like, yeah, I got to go to vodka now. I go vodka and fruit juices. And I'm like, I just can't get there yet.
I've been there.
I can't get there yet.
That's my favorite. It's just beer, man. I had to give up on beer a couple years ago. Not that I don't drink beer. Let's not get crazy. But I used to be like that was my go-to, was to have a beer. Now, certainly not.
No.
And it's just my body, my old 34-year-old body just can't take it like I used to. Plus, I got to pee all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That's really...
That's a problem.
That kills me. Beer, it goes right through me, man.
Well, I got news for you, man. That doesn't
It's going to get worse.
That didn't go away the older you get. And there's other problems that go along with it.
Yeah, like I used to be a kid... It's different if I'm like at a football game or if I'm outside sweating, then I could just drink continuously. But I used to just go to the bar with my buddies and be able to drink like 7 beers, no problem. And then like, oh, I'll go take a whiz every once in a while. But now it's like, dude, you get through 3 and it's like every 20 minutes I'm looking for the bathroom.
Well, that's a real problem if you're on a road trip.
Oh, my. It's the worst when you're like walking around town and you're in a town you don't know, like going to visit Charleston or something, and you're just having to like jump in these places to use the bathroom. Like, absolutely.
Well, I told you.
Hell on earth for me.
I guess it was 11 years ago now, but I told you that at the Rose Bowl,
Oh, yeah.
The Florida State-Auburn national title game.
No TVs.
It's an
in
old,
the concourse.
broken down building. It's a great setting. It's a great atmosphere. But you get underneath, it's like Fenway Park. It's like Wrigley Field. It's like the old Orange Bowl. It's decayed. And the lines, there wasn't a lot of them, and the lines are so long. I hear the crowd going nuts, and I'm like, are they cheering for Auburn? Are they cheering for Florida State? They didn't have a radio on. They had no TVs. And, yeah, that is a problem when you go to a game or you go to a concert. Once you break that seal and you have to go, and if there's not a lot of restrooms around, man, it can take you 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I've probably urinated in every major city that I've ever, some back alley in every major city that I've ever visited, from Rome to Florence to Charleston, South Carolina to Boston. That's just, I leave my mark. I'm like a dog that way.
Sir, from my old buddy Dennis Clay, used to own the Harmonious Monks here in town.
Yeah.
I used to get up on stage. I remember one night Blaylock and I got up on stage. Did we sing American? What did we say? I forget what song we sang. No, it was the Doobie Brothers. Oh, Blackwater. Blackwater, that's what we sang.
Mm-hmm.
But that used to be a lot of fun. And he sent me. I didn't even get. You know what's nice about this is we've received so many. I got to pull up the YouTube. I forgot to even do that so far. We'll get ready now. Are we taking phone calls in our second hour?
Oh, I forgot.
Have I not even mentioned the fact that it's Tuesday at 7 and we're taking phone calls? It's 641-1010, 641-1010. But usually I get the obligatory stick to sports, Look at all of the people who have responded to this who were really blown away by Burton Cummings, and that's why we had him on the show.
Same with YouTube as well.
Yeah, I figured that people would want to hear from a guy like that, and hopefully you'll go to that show on February 5th. It's the Wednesday before the Super Bowl. So I've never seen the Guess Who. And this to me is it's not gonna be like classic 70s Guess Who, but nothing is.
But I like that they're playing the hits.
Yeah, they're gonna do it. So
and I like that he was very adamant about that.
And it's such a great place too. I mean, the Florida Theater. I don't care what it is. If you get a chance to go to the Florida Theater, it remains one of the true staples in Jacksonville. And who was I there for? Oh, I was there for the Floyd Nation show a couple weeks back. With my buddy Ralph, who's a head of security there. You know Ralph, big guy, imposing, bald, striking. Love Ralph. And we had a lot of fun at that show.
You sort of have to look like that.
You do.
You're head of security.
Oh, smart guy. A lot of fun. And that was a good show. All right, let's do it. Let's grab your phone calls after the break. We do that Tuesday at 7. No shortage of material for you to choose from. 641-1010. That is the phone number, 641-1010. Your calls on the other side.
Get inside the mind of Jags coach Doug Peterson.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have butterflies.
Coach Speaks. Fridays at 4:05 on The Franchi Show.
I want to win.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Custom windows and doors on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
We're HAPPY, HAPPY, because Happy Honda Days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss Happy Honda Days, going on now at your local Honda dealer.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. If you've ever wondered why some jewelry stores and department stores always have a sale going at 50 to 75% off, there's a good reason. Because most of the time, they're not real sales. The prices are marked up so they can sell the piece at a big discount and still make the profit they need. If you wanted to find a realistic sales event, the store wouldn't run a year-round sale and the discounts would be a little more realistic. For example, Underwoods puts all of our diamond solitaire necklaces and ear studs on sale in December at 15% below the prices we sell at the rest of the year. So there's a genuine savings to the customer. We also take trade-ins, so it's the ideal time to buy for someone looking to grow their pendant or ear studs up to a larger size. Now at Underwoods, we don't run a lot of sales, But when we do, they're real and a good time to buy. So come see us at Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Pick it here for Bound 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bound 9. Visit Bound 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bound 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Hey, Florida drivers, the holiday season is upon us. When celebrating, always plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Besides, a DUI could cost you $10,000. Not exactly the best gift you could give yourself. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline, it's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but incredibly functional for me and Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And be sure to check out their end-of-year sale, including 18-month special financing. Closets by Design.
Prossard here for Lifetime Flooring. You've heard us rave about Lifetime Enclosures. Now let's talk about Lifetime Flooring. I can tell you firsthand, the product, services, best in Jacksonville. As you know, updating your floors is one of the most dramatic changes you can make to your home. Call the experts at Lifetime Flooring now and ask about their buy one room, get one room free promotion through Christmas. 0% financing, available to meet any budget. Visit their beautiful showroom just off Phillips Highway. And as always, tell them Prosser sent you.
Have a group trip or company function soon? Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. Get busy ordering the t-shirts and other swag you'll need. It's easy with Hardball.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click on the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now. Get your double deposit bonus with promo code 1010XL, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I think one of the things I admired about Burton Cummings is his respect for others. I mean, taking us through the entire Buffalo Springfield band. Everyone knows Stephen Stills. Obviously, Canada's Neil Young, but I always wondered if there'd be pushback coming from Canada in a very trying time, in the late 60s, early 70s. But apparently he had a lot of success. And when she got through the visas and stuff like that, people were just there to rock and roll. All right, let's get it going this hour. Tuesday at 7. We grab your phone calls. Same number as our text line. That is 641-1010. No shortage of material to choose from. I went on with Gus a little bit earlier today, Gus Loge, on his social media YouTube channel, and we were talking about Brian Thomas Jr., and he was asking me a lot of comparing about Jimmy Smith, because of course I was here when the Jags were here in their infancy, and Thomas Jr. is not at Jimmy's level yet. I mean, he's only played 14 games. Okay, he can get there, but he put me on the spot and said, "Who does it remind you of?" And I really struggled with that answer, because I don't think there's a guy that I can just look at and say, that's Brian Thomas Jr. The name I actually came up with was Cliff Branch. And Cliff Branch was probably 6 feet, maybe 5'11". He could run like the wind, okay? But he wasn't as big. He wasn't as physically imposing. Marvin Harrison was the name that got brought up. But to me, Harrison was a guy who kind of ran out of bounds. That make any sense? Great speed. I mean, phenomenal talent coming out of Syracuse. But if you want to drop in on that as well, you can. I thought that was pretty interesting earlier today. All right, let's grab some calls. 641-1010. Let's kick it off by going to, is it Miles? Miles, you are into the night. Welcome.
Hey, Rick. Hey, JJ. How you guys doing? Hey, man, I want to say that I actually loved hearing from the lead singer from the Guess Who, man. That was awesome. Like, I'm a musician myself and a songwriter, and so him talking about the songwriting process was awesome, because a lot of people don't really consider that, like, especially when it comes to, like just the different processes. And I don't know if you've ever heard of something called, like, phonetic songwriting, which is, like, when you, like, mumble words. Like Michael Jackson and Kurt Cobain used to do that a lot.
Really? No, I've never heard that. No, I haven't.
Yeah. Also, just wanted to make a quick point about Mac Jones real quick. I love this kid, man. I heard, from a thing, somebody saying how, I think it was BTJ was saying how funny he is in the huddle, which is kind of cool. You see him flailing around on the field trying to draw flags, trying to, and he's funny with it, and I can imagine how cool that might be. I mean, I love when you got a bro way funnier than you in the group. That's awesome. But for what I'm with you and JJ, man. You guys yesterday said that you're not with the tanking, and I'm not with that crap either. Called him last week, talked about the Titans game.
Unfortunately, we lost you there at the end, Miles. Appreciate it, but your phone began to break up on us. He does open up a line, 641-1010. Mac Jones got a little bit of Jameis in him. He does. He's got a very interesting personality. Now, if he was a really good football player, if he was a superstar, I think this guy would be legendary. I think he would be right up there as one of the most advertised football players in the NFL, because it is an infectious personality, and we noticed that from day one over at the Miller Electric Center when he was practicing. It almost looks at times like he doesn't take things seriously.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Because he clowns around, but that's just his personality.
It is, but can the elite of the elites are not that. Cool, he's a funny, goofy guy, and I'm sure he's a blast to be around, but, Pat Mahomes doesn't seem like Pat.
No.
It seems very serious when he needs to be serious, and like the guy's a freaking turnover machine, man.
What great player was that way? Maybe
Michael Jordan.
Maybe Marshawn Lynch, who I wouldn't consider
an elite
Yeah,
player.
I mean, he may make the Hall of his personality may help him get to the if he makes the Hall of Fame over Fred Taylor, that's a crying shame.
And it would only be because of his off the field stuff, because he is funny and everybody likes him and stuff like that. But yeah, I get it. He seems like a badass friend and like guy to hang around. But I'm just thinking about like the elite quarterbacks that I've seen over my lifetime. And I can't remember one that ever had a personality even close to that.
No, Brady yelled. Phillip Rivers yelled.
Peyton Manning. Dan Marino.
No, none of them did. I'm trying to think of one. Terry Bradshaw got a little sideways at times, and they took advantage of that. Remember, he was in Hooper, the Burt Reynolds. I think it was in Hooper. It might have been Smokey and the Bandit. They all kind of run together with the black Trans Am that Burt had. But Bradshaw got a little sideways on some stuff. But outside of that, man, Montana, Staubach, Fouts,
they just
Warren
seem like
Moon.
no fun guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like even
buttoned up.
Yeah,
let's get to work type of
professional,
guys.
Yeah, even with Mahomes, like Mahomes, he seems like a really nice guy and a really great guy. But I would never be like, oh, yeah, look at him goofing around with his teammates during the game or at practice.
I got one.
You never see that.
I got one. Jim McMahon.
Yeah, but is he an elite
No,
quarterback?
No, he wasn't. I mean, for crying out loud, the Chicago Bears only won one Super Bowl.
With that defense.
Can you believe that? I mean, when you look back historically speaking, I'm always going to go to the great Boston Bruins, only won in 70 and 72. They lost in 6 games in 74 to Bernie Parent and the Philadelphia Flyers. That assortment of talent should have won 4 or 5 Stanley Cups, like the Islanders who won 4 in a row, like the Edmonton Oilers who won 4 in a 5-year span. But same with the Chicago Bears.
And sweetness, of course.
How could they only win one Super Bowl? Now, that Giants team the next year in 87 was phenomenal as well, defensively. But if you look at one of the major disappointments since the merger, I would have to point to the Chicago Bears and how they only were able to win one Super Bowl.
And speaking of the Bears, I don't know if you watched any of the game last night.
I watched them both.
I would be worried about Caleb. I know it's like the first season and rookies, how much can you take away from it, really? But, man, he has zero confidence out there. Caleb Williams, who I'm talking about, obviously. And, like, the NFL media wanted you to believe that this was a playoff team at the beginning of the year. I called that out right away. That was BS from the beginning. Like, I don't care what you put around him. It's still a rookie quarterback. But there was situations last night where he had a guy wide open in the middle of the field on a key 3rd down in that game and just overlooked him or didn't see him or was too worried about the pressure that wasn't even there. And you just see that a lot from him. There's a curse in Chicago at that quarterback position, man. They do a terrible job of getting a coach in there to help these guys out. But, damn, they're like 0 for 1,000 since McMahon.
I was in Chicago for 7 years and they won one championship, and it was the 5th team. It was Chicago White Sox.
Yeah. And that was the first
Astros.
one in like 70 years or whatever.
That was it. The Blackhawks got like really hot after I left.
Yep.
The Bulls, no. It was done. The Bears, no. I think the Bears went to one Super Bowl when I was there. I think Rex Grossman, I'll have to look
Devin
back
Hester,
his years.
remember he returned that opening kick, but they ended up losing. Yeah.
And the Cubs, the whole I was there on the air during the Bartman situation, how they let that one get away. There's a lot of talk right now that that's where Vrabel's going to end up.
Seen that.
Mike Vrabel and the Bears. A lot of people are saying that. I've seen Ben Johnson's name listed. I've also seen people say that Ben Johnson is not interested in going to Chicago. But, I mean, who knows at this particular time. Let's grab one more here before the break. Let's go to George. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Mac Jones, he did a pretty good job, but that's twice now he had the ball with a chance to go down and threw just ridiculous interception.
Yeah.
Both times. I forget, what was the first game he did, JJ? What was the first game?
Oh, my God. At this point.
Well, 2 weeks ago, he went field goal touchdown, and the defense couldn't stop it. And then last week, or 2 touchdowns. Then the last week, it was field goal touchdown. But
yeah, I mean, he played a good game, but I mean, he threw that ridiculous interception twice. I mean, we had Minnesota. Who would know? And Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams played as good as they can play, and we had a chance to beat them.
Yeah.
ETN, you saw ETN whenever he was going to score. It was just him against Gardner, and he had already been doing spin moves. He does the best spin move to the right, and all he had to do was that spin move. He would have scored right there. You saw him put both hands on his helmet. That was a bad play there. That was 4 points. And then Mac Jones, I mean, this has been the most frustrating season ever, man. I mean, at least before when we sucked, and we knew we were going to lose. Now we lose all these games on the last time, man. That's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, it's
that
a
is
tease.
heartbreaking.
George, thank you.
He is referring to the Vikings game.
I do feel for you. Yeah, he threw the bad pick against Minnesota because Sam Darnold threw.
He was terrible.
3 picks in that game. Because the 2 weeks before the Jets game, again, he had the 2 late fourth quarter touchdowns 2 weeks ago. Then a week ago, he led him to a field goal and a touchdown in the victory.
After 3 quarters of scoreless football.
Oh, yeah. But George is right. There's zero excuse for that interception that he threw on Sunday. I mean, you're plus 50. You're on their side. It's 2nd and 1. And he described it, he described it in the post-game press conference that it was a chunk play. And he was, with 2nd and 1, they felt that there would be no problem on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 that they could pick up the first down. So they were trying to get, a sizable chunk of yards, which makes sense, but it was just a massive underthrow.
Yeah,
overthrow. Excuse me.
Good teams do that. When it is short, 2nd and short, you can take a deep shot. The Jags, it's harder. And it also is crazy assuming this Jags team can get a short yardage play.
Man, you could feel the pain in George's voice.
Yeah, he was pissed.
And he said it the right way. I mean, there have been times around here where this team has been so bad. They've been bad at times this year. There have been other times where you're like, damn. I mean, for 30 minutes on Sunday, the defense did their part. They held New York to 104 yards and 1 touchdown in the first 30 minutes of play. And then everything just backfired. They gave up 25 points and 300 yards. Do you realize that all 198 receiving yards for Devontae Adams came in the second half?
And the majority was in the last 2 drives of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a sign of the NFL's respect level for Mac Jones before we break. I heard a lot of people calling the Jets, I don't even know his name, the new coach. They were calling him stupid or whatever for that last possession. I disagree, man. They knew Mac Jones because, you should have taken a kneel a couple times and then kicked a field goal. Listen, there was a higher likelihood of them missing or getting a field goal blocked than Mac Jones leading that team down to score a touchdown.
Right.
And the Jets knew that. There was 0.0% chance Mac Jones was going to lead a touchdown drive there with a minute left. So cool it with that Jets coach is a dumbass for doing that. Come on. It worked and you knew it was going to work. I don't like when a lot of teams just trust the field goal kicker all the time. This was a chip shot. It would have been way easy. I get that. But, it could have been blocked. Anything could have happened. But you know what was never going to happen? Mac Jones leading a touchdown drive.
And Jeff Albrich wants to win. He's an interim head coach. If all of a sudden they catch lightning in the bottle, who knows? Now, they need to hire a general manager first. But I think his chances of getting the gig are probably very slim. Right now, and every Tuesday, at the Blue Crab House, $2 margaritas up until 9 o'clock. It's $7.19 right now. Right off of San Jose. and on Joington Creek Road. Remember, tomorrow, 4:30 to 9 at the Blue Crab House, $1 steamed oysters. Maybe that's what I'll do on that Wednesday. Maybe I'll go get a bunch of steamed oysters, get all liquored up, and then go to the Burton Cummings show.
Oh, yes.
At the Florida Theater. I got to get 18 holes. I have to get out of bed way, way, way too early. Okay, but I'm going to have to do it on that Wednesday, February 5th. And I got you covered for a holiday gift. Go to the Blue Crab House. Spend $50. You get a $65 gift card. $50 gives you a $65 gift card. Only at the Blue Crab House. Wide open lines if you'd like to get on in. The phone number is 641-1010.
English is their second language. Their native tongue is teal and black.
Let's go!
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony bring you Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
10 to noon on 1010XL.
Homemade cookies baked fresh by Jen. Original 80s band named Ice Creams by Ray. Build your own cookie ice cream sandwiches from scratch. Cookies and cream Jack's Beach. Open till 11 Friday and Saturday, 10 weekdays. Making our beach a better place. Cookies and cream Jack's Beach.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O. If you want high quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives. Focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners. Financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 47th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget, and with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
Ho, ho, ho! When I need gifts for special people, I go to Tobacco Cove at 3849 Bay Meadows Road. They have everything you need to make Christmas as special as they are. Find the finest in limited cigars, pipes and pipe tobacco, and the accessories that make life easier like humidors, cutters, and lighters. And don't forget Lampe Bergère fragrance lamps. So, take my advice and go to Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road, and make this Christmas one they'll remember.
Christmas is a great time to show loved ones you're thinking about them, and no better way than a beautiful piece of jewelry from Golden Diamonds Direct. They've been in business on the First Coast for 40 years. In fact, this is their 40th Christmas, putting something special under the tree for that special someone. Drop on by Golden Diamonds Direct on Racetrack Road in the Plantation Publix Plaza and see what an incredible selection of great gift ideas they have, making this giving season memorable. Golden Diamonds Direct on Racetrack Road in the Publix Plantation Plaza.
Come on, admit it. Almost everyone you know seems to be playing pickleball now, right? So whether you just want to learn how to play or you're ready to show off your elite pickleball skills, the Y is the place for you. Visit our brand new McGuire Family Pickleball Center at the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach. 5 top quality outdoor courts and 3 amazing indoor courts where you can learn about dinks, dill ball, falafel, the kitchen, and more pickleball slang at the Y.
Jacksonville contractors and business owners, do you need custom large metal fab gates or automatic gate controls? Frank Frangie here. Coyle & Sons has been in business in Jacksonville since 1927. They've earned the reputation of quality and specialized skill. Coyle & Sons are the ones trusted in Jacksonville by the top contractors, and they stand on the reputation when you need almost 100 years of commercial contractor experience. So call Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right. That's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my successful back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Burton Cummings on piano as well here.
These eyes cry every night.
Oh my goodness, Burton.
These arms
I may rush the stage. I may.
long to hold you.
Throw your shirt.
I usually reserve the yellow banana hammock only for when I'm on South Beach. There's a chance. Local sports talk show host arrested at the Florida Theater for
indecent exposure.
Yeah.
Stalking. What a voice.
Our boss would love that. Didn't they say that any press is good press, right? I'm thinking golf. I'm thinking Blue Crab House. I'm thinking Burton Cummings and the Guess Who at the Florida Theater. What a day. Beating February 5th. That'll be in the midst of the 2 weeks between Championship Sunday and, of course, the Super Bowl. I don't even know what Super Bowl it is this year. I can't read those Roman numerals. I have no idea what they are. Hey, coming up at 9 o'clock tonight, it's the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Okay?
Oh.
And when I saw Frisco, I was like, that can't be in San Francisco because San Francisco people get really upset if you call San Francisco Frisco. Can you imagine someone in San Francisco getting offended? And that is actually the case. So you can't call it Frisco. You got to go San Francisco, and it's West Virginia taking on Memphis
So
in
this
Frisco,
is the first
Texas.
First one of the year.
We've had a couple.
Have we? Did I miss
Jackson
bowls?
State, South Carolina State.
Oh, sorry about
at
that.
the Cricket Celebration Bowl. We also had the, am I going to say this wrong? Like back when I was on the ball in 1996, instead of saying the IROC, I said the IROC.
IROC in the U.S.
Yeah, this is IS-4S Salute to Veterans Bowl.
Very prestigious.
South Alabama knocked off Western Michigan. So, yeah, we have this game tonight. Memphis, who beat the brains out of Florida State earlier this year. See, Luke Kromenhoek picked Mississippi State.
I did. Mississippi State had this quarterback that I really liked, Van Buren, who was like a freshman, and he ended up going to LSU, which is sort of weird because you expect most of these transfer portal guys to be going somewhere to start, but he's obviously going there to sit behind Nussmeier for a year. But, yeah, good for Kromenhoek. I assume he'll be starting there. But that's it's one of the worst SEC programs, but it is the SEC. So
I don't know what he's doing.
He's
here.
making a good amount of money.
I don't know. Yeah, he's making money. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, pick a school where you can win. Yeah, I tell you what, he's gonna be noticed here by the scouts because he's gonna be playing top competition week in, week out. I don't know. Maybe they dropped some Dak Prescott on him and said, listen, you can win here. You can be the difference here. Maybe he looked at it that way. No one believes we can win at Mississippi State. Watch this.
Also, I don't necessarily believe this is his last stop.
Yeah.
I mean, we see these guys on 3-4 schools before their career ends.
You guys may get John Mateer. I want to get back to these phone calls. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. It looks like it's going to be Oklahoma or the U to get John Mateer. He almost reminds me of a poor man's Tim Tebow.
I've only seen highlights from him, and I just know we took a Washington State quarterback last year, and it worked out supremely.
Brando had, I think, 2 of their games this year.
Okay.
I watched him early in the season.
Now, why I think he might go to Oklahoma is his quarterback's coach or ex-OC QB coach is now at Oklahoma. So that might be good for them.
Let's get back to some of these phone calls. Couple of folks hung up while we were having that conversation. If you want to get in the rotation, you can. 641-1010. How you doing, Sam?
Hey, what's going on, Rick?
Plenty tonight, man. Plenty.
Yes, sir. I heard you say earlier you were from Boston.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Swayman holding out for his contract earlier and before the season started?
Well, he didn't play well when he returned. I mean, he was so good last year, late in the season in the playoffs, so that was a little bit disheartening. But, I mean, they fired Jim Montgomery. They fired Bruce Cassidy, who was at one time, when I was doing Lizard King games way back, he was the head coach of the Jacksonville Lizard Kings. I've known Bruce Cassidy that long, and, you know, the veterans, Krejci and Bergeron and others, said that he was too tough on him, so they fired him. He goes to Vegas and wins the Stanley Cup. Then you bring in this Jim Montgomery, a college coach. The guy's like 140 in his career, and they fired him. So they sound like they're a bunch of babies right now in Boston.
Man, yeah, I got a coworker. He's a diehard Boston fan, and he can't stand that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, right now it's just about maintaining. They've only played 30 games. They got 52 more to go, and then obviously the 2 months worth of the playoffs. But it's going to be another really exciting season in the NHL. What else is going on, Sam?
Also, if you saw any of that rematch, the Stanley Cup rematch last night, it was a great game.
No, you know what? I honestly didn't. Outside of Boston, I'm not watching a ton of hockey right now. We had 2 Monday Night Football games on, so my attention was there. It's not that I'm not a fan. I am. I'm going to certainly watch the Boston Bruins tonight. They do play at 9 o'clock, and it's a pretty decent slate of NHL games coming up tonight. But unfortunately, I did miss that one a night ago. Hey, thank you very much for the phone call there, Sam. One other nugget today. What is this new deal? And Kentron Portier did this earlier today, okay? He announced that he was making himself eligible for the NFL draft. I've been on him for 4 years because as a wide receiver at Florida State, this guy has phenomenal God-given ability. But he never did anything with it, okay? He couldn't catch when he got there. When he left, he couldn't catch. He ended up with 4 feet. And he makes this announcement that he is heading into the NFL draft, even though he has no college football eligibility left. That has become somewhat of a new trend. I've seen a couple of Florida State kids actually do that this year. Have you noticed that at any other school?
No, I didn't. I didn't realize that was the case. I guess that's just to, like, I don't know, get a little bit of PR to be like, hey, don't forget about me. Yeah. You know, I am draft eligible. I'm going to the draft, so please draft me. But no, I thought it was funny when I saw DJU post his thing that he's going to the draft. It's like, good luck, fella.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually could come back for a year, so that was a little different. I think he still has eligibility after not playing too much this season.
I wouldn't be shocked if someone takes a shot at DJU in the 6th round, a project quarter. He's got massive size. And if you look back at the way things began this year at Florida State, the way things ended, it wasn't all his fault. He was the major blame in what had gone wrong for Florida State. He had no coaching. He had 0 coaching. And I think they'll look back at what he did at Oregon State, maybe a little bit earlier what he did at Clemson. I'd be shocked if all of a sudden we find out that DJ Uiagalelei is a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, my God.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. No. But I do think he's got a chance to hold a clipboard for a few years. Bring on a practice squad, be a third-string quarterback. He's got that size, and he's got the arm strength. If he gets some coaching, who knows?
Bulky loves length, man.
Bulky does. Let's get to Nick, who is next up. He goes into the night.
Hey, guys. I hope that Balky's not making these decisions. I'll just say that. But
Amen.
quick question. So actually, two-pointer. One, is it going to impact potential coaching hires and GM search, the stadium rebuild, and just the fact that they're going to have to, I mean, if you figure you got to hire somebody for hopefully at least 5-year run, then they're going to be faced with taking the team out of town for a whole home slate. And then two, do you guys know what the team's plan is? Like, are they going to be here during the week and just go down like on Friday nights if it's Orlando or Gainesville?
Yes.
Or on Saturdays? Or I'll take it off the air. Love you guys.
Appreciate it, Nick. Yeah, they'll be able to practice at the Miller Electric Center. That facility is completely built and it's state of the art.
The players will have to move their families.
Nope, none of that. They're going to have to hit the bricks during those home games. It's a very interesting question. I could see, the only one that I could see it affect is some established coach who can pick a job. But if you're up for an interview and you have an opportunity to be the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't think the distraction of the building process and knowing that home games, you're going to have to pack up and go to Orlando or pack up and go to Gainesville. I don't think London has been knowing that you're going to get 2 in London. I mean, we saw Doug Peterson the last 3 years really salute and support the London thing, where I got to believe privately he hates it.
Well, up until this year, he was, like they asked him a couple of weeks ago about it. Like, hey, now looking back, do you think those 2 straight weeks affected the team? And he said yes.
Oh, yeah.
He was very negative about it after the fact.
Mm-hmm. But they've won 3 of their last 4 there.
True. They also played the Patriots there. And they lost to that Bears team we watched last night.
Yeah, they played rookie quarterback. Did they play Drake May? Was it May again?
Yeah,
or was
like
it
his first game, I believe.
Zaley or Jacoby
Zappy?
Zappy or was
I think
Brissett
Zappy's
there?
out of the league.
Was it Jacoby
Brissett was there, but it was
no.
Let's see.
It's a really interesting question. It is, because it provides material, I hate to say it, for an excuse. Well, we never were able to settle in. We had to get in a bus every other home game and, go to Orlando. Every home game, go to Orlando or go to Gainesville. And then, of course, the away games. But that's part of the process. I would think you'd have to be let's say you're a Mike Vrabel and you have 4 jobs waiting for you. Okay, we talked about it earlier where it appears that Vrabel is the leading candidate right now for the Chicago Bears. So if he interviews and all of a sudden he knows he can pick a job, then he may want to say, I don't want to deal with all that crap that's going on right now. But if you're a coordinator or you're a recycled head coach that's getting a second opportunity after being fired, I don't think that would factor into it.
If you're Bill O'Brien.
Nope.
You're
Bill O'Brien,
signing wherever they want,
Matt Eberflus.
Exactly. Drake May, I didn't remember this, though. I remember he played. I didn't remember how damn good he was. He threw for almost 300 yards against this defense, 276 yards and 2 touchdowns, and also ran for 20 yards, leading the team.
That is a bad football team.
It is. He's going to be legit, I think. I like him.
Mayo could be done in a year.
Did you hear what he did at the press conference this weekend? They asked him about...
Enlighten me.
So
I may have.
Some short yardage plays, and they had asked Drake May, like, how come you guys weren't running QB sneaks? And May was like, I don't know. I'm huge. I'm like 6'4". I don't know why they don't have me do that. And they asked Mayo about it, and he threw his OC under the bus, and he's like, good question. It's like, wow, are you that disconnected from the offense?
I loved him as a player. He was such a good linebacker, such a smart linebacker. This was back when I would watch. This was back when the Patriots were winning Super Bowls and the Red Sox were winning World Series, and I found myself watching quite a bit of information that would pile out of Boston, either on the cable sports network or on Nesson. And he did a weekly show as a player. I think it was Tom Curran, who's a writer there, did it with him, and it was very informative. It was a very good television program, and you could tell that he had the smarts. But you know what his problem has been this year in New England? He's too honest. That's been his problem. I mean, his comment about once they go over the crossed the white lines. I can't help him anymore.
Yeah, that was 3 weeks ago.
I mean,
wow.
we love honesty. We do. But he has been too honest, and he may fall into that category. Who was the last one and doneer? Was it
Frank Reich we had Urban Meyer, of course, who didn't even make it.
Wow, that was for cause. Okay. Was it Freddie Kitchens in Cleveland?
But Frank Reich wasn't for.
That's right, Frank Reich.
Because he was terrible in Carolina. But yeah, it's like the new thing. You used to never see that, but now I wouldn't be shocked if he's gone after this year.
Mm-hmm. And that would open another job. I mean, we have 3 openings right now. We're looking somewhere between 7 and 9 openings. And that is petrifying. It is. That is petrifying. Because with Belichick gone, and I gave you my opinion on that, right now it feels like Ben Johnson or bust. And we still don't know the answer to the question. Does Ben Johnson want to coach the Jacksonville Jaguars? If so, then fine. You get your guy. Maybe you bring Burdell along as an offensive coordinator, and you get after it. But if that doesn't happen, which direction are they going to go next? Okay? This is all part of trying to get ahead of it. And they can't get ahead of it, right? New York right now, you can't hire coaches. The spirit of the Rooney Rule and the spirit of the hiring process is beginning the day after all the firings on Black Monday. And what I mean by the spirit of the rules, you can't start to do things with head coaches until then. And unlike general managers, where we've already seen that process absolutely well underway in New York, where the Jets have already interviewed 2 general managers, and they're getting ready to go interview 2 more general managers. All right, final thoughts coming up. If you want to get in, we'll maybe have room for another call, 641-1010. That is the best way to join us. Also on the text line, same number. That's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
When you don't want to wait till tomorrow for analysis of today's game, get it 2 hours after the final whistle. Hacker Leon and Coach Campo bring you the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Lawn and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Help fight skin cancer by playing golf at the Hit 'em Straight Golf Tournament December 30th at Queens Harbor for a day of food and fun while raising money for the Melanoma Research Foundation. To sign up, call 904-507-1401.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Your pipes are leaking, don't get nervous. Fa la 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 la. Call Roll and Reach for same-day service. Fa la 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 la. He guarantees your satisfaction. Fa la 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 la. Call Roland and he'll spring into action. Fa la 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 la. This holiday season, if you have a leak and can't wait a week, dial 904-260-7059. And from the Roll and Reach family to yours, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It's hard to stop the Tomahawk Chop.
I'm RJ Saunders. Follow Florida State's road to the college football playoff on the Seminole Report.
Brought to you by your local Ag Pro, your home team on 1010XL.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Cohen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes & Cohen.
Hey folks, Dave Binion with Zero Res. I asked my wife what she wants for Christmas, and she said the same thing she does every year. She wants a clean home full of family and friends. That means the carpets, the tile and grout, the large oriental rug in our family room, and the huge sectional sofa that everyone loves to hang out on all need a good Zero Res cleaning. Give Zero Res a call and get your carpets cleaned for only $49 a room, and get your tile and grout cleaned for 25% off. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. RJ Saunders here with 1010XL, and okay, how about sending just one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
With the sun setting earlier, Hidden Hills Golf Club has expanded their twilight specials so you can take advantage of our special afternoon rates and get your round in before dark. Book today at hiddenhillsgc.com and enjoy this beautiful fall weather.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, Jaguars off today. Back at it tomorrow. It is Raiders week. The long trip to Las Vegas. Record-setting numbers, rookie-wise, for Brian Thomas Jr. He's got an opportunity to go over 1,000 yards as a rookie coming up on Sunday. So much more from the Jags. Wednesday, we'll be with you 6 to 8. Tomorrow night, John Osher, Jaguar stuff at 7. And then on Thursday, Tim Brando and I will really begin to look at the playoffs in college football coming up this weekend. Heard a lot of complaints about the way it's been put together and this and that and this and that. And I get it. To me, that's more of an off-season conversation. Let's get it on. Friday night, a game, and then 3 on Saturday. It's going to be fantastic to watch these 4 games. So we're going to do that as well coming up during tomorrow night. All right, you just said, JJ, that now the word around the league is that the Jets also covet Mike Vrabel. So he's become the number 1 guy. With Belichick gone, Vrabel Then you look at Ben Johnson. I tell you who's really interesting here is the Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders went on with Pac-Man Jones on a podcast and said, once again, I am not going anywhere. He asked him about Florida State. He asked him about the Dallas Cowboys. He is staying in Colorado for at least one more year. Do you believe it?
I do, because why wouldn't he? Like, you look at he's cooking right now. He's got the number one quarterback recruit coming in. You know, he has, or I think it might not be the number one, but it's up there. I think the number one ended up going to Michigan. But he has like huge 5-star guys coming. He's got portal guys coming from big schools. Like, I think you just stay there and see what you could build for a couple years, unless the Cowboys job, unless you can get like the Cowboys job. I think that one's too big for him to pass up, right? I mean, especially with Deion loving the limelight, and it's the biggest job in the NFL.
Would Jerry
could you say
hire
no
him?
to that?
Would Jerry hire him? That's the question. He knows it's going to be you talk about distractions. Can you imagine Deion Sanders in Dallas?
Also, Jerry doesn't like to be upstaged.
Mm-hmm. That's part of it. It really is.
I could see it just because, I mean, it's such a flashy move. I think it would, I don't know. It's exciting. I would love to see it. I think Jerry maybe might change his tune about not having coaches overshadow him for something like this. He obviously has a relationship with Deion that goes back decades. So, yeah, I think it could happen. I think it's very slim, but I think it could happen.
It's been like 30 years since he's won. I mean, they won what, in the mid-90s? Late, maybe not quite 30, maybe 27, 28 years since the Dallas Cowboys have lifted the Lombardi Trophy. So, I mean, this is going to be fascinating here. It is. When you get through those names, Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Deion Sanders. All right, let's say Deion stays. Those are the two most attractive names. Everyone else is a yeah, but. It really is. Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Brady, Aaron Glenn. I think Ben Johnson is still a yeah, but. We don't know if he can coach as the head coach. We don't. Again, I keep going to Brian Daboll. Look at 2 years ago with Brian Daboll. That's where Joe Brady is now. Look at the resume of Brian Daboll. I think he spent 9 or 10 years with Belichick. He spent the 1 year with Nick Saban, then went off to Buffalo and was a part of that high potent offense, went with the assistant general manager from Buffalo to the New York Giants. Now he's part of what, a 10-game losing streak? He's fighting for his job. And again, if I was to say to any NFL fan right now, bring Brian Daboll in for an interview, you drive off the road. That's how quickly things can change. And I'm not saying that Ben Johnson's going to be a Brian Daboll. Okay? I don't know that. He deserves a ton of credit. Mark Brunell deserves a ton of credit for what Jared Goff has done. He has been sensational in Detroit. And you can make the case that Daboll hasn't had a quarterback in New York. And that give Daboll Trevor Lawrence. And it's a totally different deal. But did I excite anyone by mentioning that? I don't know. It is folks, it is brutal. It is hard to find the right coach. It is a brutal job. And right now, it feels like it's Ben Johnson or bust for this organization. And unfortunately, Detroit's going to go deep into the playoffs, at least you believe so, unless Dan Campbell calls plays like he did the other night with the onside kick. All right, we're back tomorrow, 6 to 8. Thank you to Burton Cummings of the Guess Who. I appreciated his time. Boy, that was a lot of fun. JJ LaSalva produced the program. My name is Rick Ballou. Hacker Nation coming up right now on your home of the Jags.